Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of On Purpose. I'm Emily and I'm the founder of Two Shoes Creative, where we build brand and websites for purpose-led businesses, charities and impact startups. Today I want to dive into a topic that is at the heart of everything we do, branding. You might think that branding is all about having a logo, some colours, a nice font, and maybe a really well-organised Instagram feed. And while that's great, it's a small part of a much bigger picture. And understanding that bigger picture and utilising branding, you can start to attract more people to your organisation. More of the right people, crucially. So let's get into it. What exactly is branding? I've said that it's more than just a logo, but what does that actually mean? Well, branding is the process of creating the entire experience for your customer. It's about your philosophy, it's about your values, it's about your experience, it's about the way you look. But ultimately, it's about the way that customers experience your brand and how they feel. Branding is about shaping that experience to make customers feel the way that you want them to feel. I love this definition from the Branding Journal. Branding is a process of giving meaning to specific organisations, companies, products or services by creating and shaping a brand in consumers' minds. Sounds simple, right? But there's a lot involved in making your brand memorable for the right reasons. So let's dive into the foundations of branding, or as I sometimes like to call them, the 6 steps to branding success. First up is purpose. What is your purpose? It's a big question, I know, but it's an important one. Sometimes a brand's purpose is rooted in the founder's story. So whoever's founded the organisation, maybe they saw a problem that needed to be solved and that's why they created their brand. Or it could be there's one underlying mission that powers everything that you do. Whatever it is, you need to craft this purpose into a way that customers are going to understand and connect with. When you convey your purpose and your story properly, you forge a deeper connection with your audience and you make them more emotionally invested in what you're doing. Number 2 is positioning. This is about where you sit within the market. Who is your brand for? What makes you stand out from the competition? Why should people choose you over someone else? Getting your positioning right is crucial, as that will affect your customer journey and how you shape the entire experience of interacting with your brand. 3 is identity. Now we're getting to the pretty bit. The logos, the colours, the typography, the imagery. Simple changes to these can really invoke different emotions with your audience. Your brand needs a visual and a written identity that matches your positioning, your values, and really communicates to your audience why they should choose you. Tone of voice is an important part of this. Are you a serious and sophisticated brand? Or are you more on the friendly and humorous side? You need to build an identity and a personality that will attract and resonate with your audience, and make sure that you're using it consistently across all of your channels. Next up is perception. This is all about how you want your audience to perceive you. More importantly, it's about asking your audience how they perceive you. The way that we change the perception of our brand is, of course, through all the previous things we've talked about, but ultimately it's about your customer experience. It's about how people interact with you at every stage of the process of working with you. Whether that's seeing you for the first time, getting onboarded to working with you, purchasing, or getting offboarded. We want to make sure that that customer journey is slick, so that your perception of your brand is consistent across all of your channels. And the way that we find that out is by actually asking our customers. It's all very well saying that you want to be an inclusive brand, but you actually have to do the work to be inclusive. It's all about being authentic. You can go out and tell your values to the world, but unless you're actually acting on them, people are going to notice. Regularly exploring your audience's perception and tweaking the way that you present yourself is key to a successful brand. Next up is promotion. It's all very well having this brand identity and the values in place, but we need to actually get ourselves out there. This is about choosing the correct channels to promote your brand on and looking at how you adapt your messaging and your identity to fit with those channels and fit with the context they're in. It's all about being consistent. From social media to your website to the way that you speak in person about your brand, there should be a consistent message running through. So why should we bother? Why should we put all of this work into building a brand? Well, there is a plethora of reasons why branding is important. It's the foundation of everything you do when it comes to your customer experience. Building a strong brand builds on brand recognition. You want your logo, your style, your messaging to stand out from the crowd and people to know when they see you, they know it's you straight away. If I took the Apple logo off of an Apple advertisement, you'd probably know it was still Apple. If I showed you just the text from an innocent smoothie ad, you'd probably know it was still innocent. And that's what we want to go for. We want to make sure that our brand is instantly recognizable, even if our logo isn't on it. As I've repeated on and on and on, branding is all about standing out from the competition. Effective branding should highlight why you are the one that people should choose over your competitors. Clear branding and clear messaging should make it really easy for people to understand what you do and ultimately want to choose you. And if we're attracting all these lovely people, then we are generating new customers. Ultimately, branding should be bringing you customers in because they like what you're doing, they like what they see, and they want to know more about your business or your organization. This could then lead on to you building a loyal audience, people that come back time and time again to interact with your business and your organization by either being a customer or shouting about you to their friends, families, colleagues, and really becoming an advocate for what you do. That is the ultimate goal for a brand, is to be one that people are recommending time and time again. If you're starting out a business or you've been in business for a while and your branding is feeling a bit stale, it's really important to invest. Investing in professional branding is really important for a business because it sets the foundation for everything you do, and it will make your life so much easier when it comes to building your marketing campaigns, building a staff culture, and ultimately promoting your business out in the world. Having strong branding should make it really easy for you to talk about your brand and show off your brand to the world. So to wrap up, branding is a really important part of business, and investing in professional branding is a really valuable thing to do. Whether you are starting out for the first time or you've been in business for a long while and maybe your branding isn't feeling quite right anymore, it's important to invest in taking the time to build proper branding with those brand foundations, not just a nice logo and colours, to really make sure that you're putting yourself out there in the right way. Branding is all about doing your business and organisation justice. If you have an excellent service or a product, you need an excellent brand to match it. If you need help building a brand, Two Shoes Creative are here to help. We specialise in building brands and websites for purpose-led businesses, impact startups and charities. Click the link below to book a free consultation call, and we can help you build a brand that attracts and retains the right audience. Thanks for listening. Next time, we'll be talking about tone of voice and how to build one for your brand. Thank you for listening to this episode of On Purpose, the podcast dedicated to breaking down the fundamentals of building purpose-led brands. If you love the show, please do leave a review, and why not send it to someone who'll love it too.